Hello, lovely. It's Wednesday, and so halfway. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Halfway through the week, we're on day 12, day 13. Let me just double check. We are on day 14 of looking through Atomic Habits, which is chapter 13 of the book, because one chapter we went over a couple of sessions. And so we're working our way through Atomic Habits to see if we can draw out the things that would most help us put some new habits in place, which is if you're going through any kind of transformation in your life, then the chances are you are going to need to look at some different habits to help build up the strength to do whatever it is that you want to do. So this chapter is all about the 2-minute rule. Now, I used to think the 2-minute rule was something I'd come across in the past, but I used to think it meant, and I'm sure it does in many circumstances, mean if you can do something in 2 minutes, you should just do it there and then, rather than put it on a list or anything like that. So that's what I had in my head that the 2-minute rule was. But James Clear has a different view of what he calls the 2-minute rule. And his rule is that anytime you start a new habit, it should take you less than 2 minutes to do. And the problem that many of us have is that we try to do too much too soon. So we start out thinking we're going to run 5K 3 times a week, and that's our new habit in place. When in fact, we should just do something that takes 2 minutes, which might be to put your running clothes on, walk out the door, walk back in again, or just put your running clothes on to begin with. Because his argument is that in the beginning, you're not trying to become a great runner or to get fit or, to lift a certain amount of weights or anything like that. In the beginning, you're just trying to build the habit of being the kind of person who goes for a run or the kind of person who goes to the gym. So you just need to do whatever that thing is that will only take 2 minutes. And do that every time that you want that habit to happen. Later on, that can be the ritual that you build the habit upon. So, he calls this your gateway habit, and it should be super easy, and you just have to master the art of showing up. Now, I find that a little bit frustrating because there's part of me that thinks, well, I've put my running clothes on. What's the point of that? But we have to trust in the process a little bit, and that habit of doing it every day you'll gradually start building up on it, and it will mean that the habit should stick a lot longer. So I've talked previously about micro habits, and I think this is basically the same thing. So for every habit, because I think where it becomes useful as well is later on when suddenly you're really busy that day. If you can do the 2-minute thing, then you're not breaking the chain of the habit, even if you can't do you might be the stage where you do run for half an hour every day. But if you can't run that day for some reason, if you at least still do the habit, you're not breaking the chain, is the idea, I think, behind that. So for it might be, if you want to read more, it might just be to read 1 page before bed. If you want to do yoga, it might be just to get your yoga mat out and sit on it and sit in the lotus position or something like that. Is it still called the lotus position? I think that's what we used to call it when I was a kid. So it's that starting ritual for the habit, and then you can start building on that, which he calls habit shaping, where you sort of add a little bit more. But this is all part of the chapter that is about making the habit easy. Which is what we're trying to do. I once did an experiment, and I blogged about it many, many, many years ago, where the first day I ran for 1 minute, and the next day I ran for 2 minutes, and I added a minute a day. And I eventually got it up to about 55 minutes or something like that. And I kept it going for quite a while. So it really did work. And then I let myself get out of the habit, because I thought I had to run 55 minutes each day, whereas I should have said, I can still go and just run for 1 minute. That's okay. So it worked to a certain extent until I lost focus of being the identity of the kind of person who goes for a run every day. So the practical solution, or the practical action that you can take from this today, is for the habits that you're trying to put into place. Have you got a 2-minute version that you can start with? Or if you already do have a habit, half and half habit, have you got a 2-minute version that you can do on the days when, for whatever reason, you don't feel like it, or you're really short of time, but you can do the 2-minute version so you don't break the chain? So have a look through your habits, and we'll talk more next time.